guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Andy the Middle-Aged Gamer, and this is the Tokyo Marui MK23 full set review. Now, call me late to the game if you wish, but I am late to this one. I did go the other way. I went to KWA, got the full gas blowback version, found it to be an amazing gun. It lasted for a few years till parts started to wear out, and as things started to get harder to find with that gun, certainly for the OG version that I had, yeah, it was a case of I missed it. It went the way of bye-byes and went into this channel, and obviously now I wanted one back. But everyone was saying at that time, get the Marui one, sack the gas blowback, it's nice, but the Marui, it can be true sneaky and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, I hear you. So, let's stick the usual disclosures on screen now. And let's jump in with a bit of context to this. Okay, so this is Tokyo Marui's first, I would say, gift set, let's put it that way, or presentation set that they released. Over a decade ago, it hit the market and took the actual market by storm, especially in its role as a support or secondary to a sniper out there. Okay, they preferred these because of its lighter weight, the non-reciprocating slide, basically kept it quiet, and it is bloody accurate. So, let's zoom in. Let's see what Tokyo Marui got right, and we'll go over some of the, how would you say, things that everyone keeps making the same mistake, and especially Konami with this. So, let's have a look. Let's get that stand out the way. Okay, so we're going to drop the mag. Let's start with the mag, shall we? So, the magazines hold 28 rounds, okay? They're very large capacity and are extremely, I would say, gas efficient. Okay, if I put that there, let's grab the scales in. It shows you how heavy they are. For some reason, people do get a kick out seeing the weight, so we'll zero it. So with the tiny bit of gas in there, it's 325 grams per mag, which is quite nice. Now, of course, you do have the HK45 on there, because it was basically 45 ACP that it shot. Oh, 45 Super, sorry. Let's get that right. You do have the HK here. This is a full metal mag, including the base plate is a die cast, so not realistic because that's polymer in the real one, but it's still decent enough. Now, like I say, holding 28 rounds, and with the gas in this, not having a reciprocating slide, gave you more than 110 to 120 shots on one charge of gas. So that's over 3 mags of this, which is brilliant. It's certainly gas efficient, and on a gameplay day, especially if you're playing sneaky on CQB, you can hide in corners and that and just be shooting all day long and have to use very little gas, which is great. Now, let's bring this in. When it comes to this, what I will do is I'm going to remove the suppressor for it, or the mock suppressor, sorry. This is Airsoft, YouTube, and I'm going to follow the guidelines and not do it on camera, but yes. Okay, so when it comes to the gun is light. Without the magazine, it's a light gun. You do get the mark in there, H&K, and its caliber right there. No, this is not a HK45 frame or out like that. It's just to tell you the caliber and that. This is the kind of like story that people don't realize. Okay, so if we go back to the late 80s, a contract went out by SOCOM for a new replacement do-it-all pistol, the ultimate pistol. It had to be chambered in a more potent cartridge, which their current cartridges was 45 ACP. Now, 2 companies answered the call. It was HK and Colt. The Colt one was so unreliable and so bad it didn't even make it a few months, or if it did, it was like by the end of the first set of trials, it was gone. It was out of here. And of course, this being all new, being a double stack, large capacity mag, you also had the ability to shoot 45 Super, which was a more potent round, more stable, supersonic 45, which again, you know, that's a heck of a lot of mass going very fast. It was great, and every soldier that used one would tell you it was accurate, it was everything, it was just big. And, you know, everyone wants little things for some reason, just not your wife. Okay. But yes, at the end of the day, you do get your stippled grip right there, which is nice. It's very grippy. It's obviously large because of the caliber that it's using. 45 ACP is a bigger magazine than 9mm. Now, being all polymer, just like the real one, you do get a nice enlarged mag release there, which is right nice and easy to drop the mag, so your mag can go in and you can boom, and it will slide free. It's really good. Now, when it comes to the trigger, this being a non-blowback, it's double action for the most part, so you can just pull it and boom. If you just put a fresh mag in, there's no BB in the chamber, and you pull the trigger, the first shot won't load. What it's recommended is for the first shot, you pull the slide to the rear, you let go. It's now in semi-auto mode. As you can see, the hammer is back, and boom, you drop that, then it goes straight to double action. But what you've done is chambered a round, you fired your first one, and then every round thereafter works. The trigger itself is a bit of a pull. It's about a £6 pull. You know, it's nice. I've shot it a lot, and it really, I mean, this has had now like 8,000 rounds through it because I just love it. But yes, it's absolutely awesome. And like I say, you get used to the stronger trigger, and if not, just build your strength up, you know? But yes, it's really cool. Now, obviously, because it is the Mark 23, we do have this massive trigger guard. And as you can see, the light unit attaches here. So if we unscrew this, okay, we can now slide the unit off, and that's how a lot of snipers run it. They use a QD system that either attaches to the part here, or to the actual trigger guard here, or just slots in to the actual rail system here. I've seen quite a lot of different loadouts that way, but it's cool. Again, at the bottom, you do have your serial number right there, just like the real one. That's where it'll be, inlaid or molded into the plastic. And this is a Mark 23 rail and compatible with all Mark 23 rail accessories. Now, one of the things I will tell you, let's move on to here before we carry on with that. This is the Gen 1 LAM unit created by H&K, if I remember rightly. There was 2 units. HK initially did the work with the first suppressor and with this to fix a few issues with the Gen 1 prototype. So this being based off of the prototype for the Gen 1, it looks really nice. It's very sleek. This is also what Hideo Kojima saw when he wanted the pistol in his game. He was like, no, I like that look. That's SOCOM. That's latest, modern, futuristic. I want that. Not whether it was actually the correct one, because the correct one is a big bulbous onion thing that just slots underneath, has all the different lasers and so on. This one doesn't. And as this is Tokyo Marui, it is just a replica. It's not bad. It's a placeholder for the real one, but you can't get this design, I don't think, anymore. And I believe the other ones are so expensive, it is ridiculous. I mean, this alone, this piece from Tokyo Marui, will cost you 80 quid on its own. And that's stock from the company Tokyo Marui, even though they don't make, I would say, sell them separate easily enough to get hold of now. And if you go on the secondary market, well, they go up even more than that. But you can actually change the internals. It does run off 3, if I remember rightly. I just slide that, yep. 3 AAA batteries. It is old school, remember. This is before LEDs had truly got bright. You do have a little power switch here, so we can switch it to on or off. So we'll switch it on. You do get 2 modes. You get a flash mode and permanently on. And if I use the flash, you can see it's bright. It will brighten it. And if you can just see there on the top, you do have an LED representing the laser. Okay, so you have that there, and you can, like say, do your SOS calls if you need to let them know you're on their team or what have you, or just blind them, you can go ahead. And switching off is just simple, and it'll store. I've left these batteries. These have been on there for the entire ownership of this, and they last. They're decent enough. Of course, that's your attachment screw. That's just a rotating dummy screw, but that would obviously, help with the mode select, if I remember rightly, or it was the laser adjustment and that. So you'd have your different switches here. So you can do the left and right, up and down, and then have a mode select for IR, standard light, etc. It does have its laser aiming module, the actual details there, which is quite nice. Warning. I mean, it's well built and it really works. Now, of course, I'm going to put this back on, and then you just screw it down and it stays in on this system, which is really, really good. So you can just screw it in and boom. There you go. It's not going anywhere. It's going to stay. And like I say, you can just loosen it off. It's up to you. I like it. It runs, it holds itself. So yeah, absolutely awesome, quick and easy. Now, when it comes to identifying it, if you watch the Forgotten Weapons video. He does an absolute awesome detailed breakdown of the 3 different variants that the SOCOM tested, and they all passed the test. In fact, this is the most successful pistol in SOCOM history, or US military history, to pass more tests than any other. It's just ridiculous. It was like a tank, this thing. Now, this is basically the Gen 3 pistol with the Gen 1 light aiming module on there. And obviously, we get the Gen 2, which is basically the Knight's Armament suppressor with it. But you can tell it's Gen 3 because you have the cut-down forward serrations at the front. So it's Gen 2 and up. That helps you limit it to Gen 2 or Gen 3. There's no manual lock for the slide, which the Gen 1 had, to keep it whisper quiet. And as they developed what we now call a Nielsen device, and that they developed the system for the suppressor to push back on the actual the barrel of it, which would help cam and unlock the Browning action inside and cycle the gun. When suppressed, you have all that weight up front, and that would jam it and cause malfunction. So that was cool stuff from Knights and HK. So that's cool. But yeah, and the other thing was the coating. As this is more of a matte finish, it's more of the 3rd generation, the final civilian model, than it is the government. The government had that French black color to protect the actual slide to stop it from rusting. But obviously they've improved it and so on throughout the generations. And that's why I say this is a Gen 3 pistol. Prove me wrong. It's up to you. But yeah, it's decent. Now, of course, markings, you do have the US government there, caliber 45. You do have your serial number there, which matches the under one there. And the actual different markings here, little proof marks. It's absolutely awesome. Now, obviously, these are mock, so they're not going to be removable, but they molded them in to make it so believable. They're really good. Okay, you do get a full metal hammer, and while the hammer is cocked, you can use the manual safety, so safe and fire. So when it's in safe, you can't pull the trigger. When it's in fire, you can pull the trigger. But say you just want to deactivate the gun because this is a non-blowback, push that up and you lock the trigger anyway. Some people, the amount of times I've handed this into the arena and say, oh yeah, you want to use it, and left that on for a laugh and watch them struggle. It's funny. You just push that down and okay. Now, if we flip it around, you can see the markings on the chamber there, which is nice. You've got the ASGK, which is Tokyo Marui. That has to be on there. And it does say SOCOM Mark 23 right there. It's really good. And if I flip that back, you can see that it is still all closed. It's all done internally, so no BBs fall out. There's no mess. It's just a nice system. So why don't we take this out to the range and let's see how she does. This is the Tokyo Marui Mark 23 non-blowback pistol with 0.25 gram BBs and green gas. Okay, that gives us a 294.2 high with a 281.5 low. Definitely a awesome little non-blowback pistol. Okay, let's take this outstanding Mark 23 non-blowback pistol back to 10 meters. Let's see how accurate she really is. I'm shooting a little bit high, but for what she is, that's not bad. Okay, so let's see how good the Texas Star is with the Mark 23 from Tokyo Marui. Okay, so let's see how good the Texas Star is with the Mark 23 from Tokyo Marui, and let's do this. Slow it down, Andy. It's spam firing. And yeah, that was cool. Okay guys, so as you can see, she is still accurate for being an old girl, as they say. It is still absolutely awesome. Now again, this is all stock internals. The Mark 23 has so many aftermarket upgrades now. It's almost equaling the, the high capper by now. It's ridiculous. But if I was to get this out, let's see. So from width-wise, you're looking at just under 2 inches. And from there, it's a 2.5 inch. So yeah, a maximum 2.5 inch spread, which again, for a pistol, that's absolutely phenomenal. Now, let's take a look at the inside. Let's see what you get. So this is metal, but it's not steel. That's one thing just to show you. The springs are steel, but everything else, and the screw there is steel, but everything else in here is a die cast or an aluminum. Now, again, you can see how it works and how the system is. So if I pull that back, you have a lock on this side that goes up and pushes in front of the arms, so the arms can't move. And if I push it up on this side, which is a little bit in here, that would basically lift up the actual bolt slide release, and it locks on the arms inside. And so the arms can't move, but they can right now because it's not in the gun. This is a mock, a decocker on there, which sucks, but I'm willing to take that for now. That's perfectly fine. Again, you see your full metal mag release in there. It is die cast, like I say, but all these parts that people worry about, you can see in steel, and there are manufactured aftermarket parts and upgrades. You can get a lighter trigger kit from Garda and Lilacs. They're just amazing. And as you can see from the hammer, it's weird. It runs like a, I don't know if I can get it in here, but it basically, as the hammer goes forward, it kicks the knocker, the firing pin, and that hits your knocker valve. It's really cool. I find that interesting. Like I say, your takedown pin isn't steel, it's just die cast, but it's a solid chunk. I mean, it's awesome. And let's see the internals. Now, as you can see, this has a captured recoil spring right here. Okay, it does sit in there. And you do have your little spring-loaded chamber for when you move it. It's all contained. You do have your hop adjustment wheel right there. Okay, which is nice. And as you turn it that way, you add more hop and turn it the other way to reduce it. Your bucking is a standard Marui spec along with your inner barrel. Now, your inner barrel goes from there to there. So if we were to tell you that, you'd be looking at call it a 5 inch. Let's do it right. It's a 5 inch inner barrel, and that kind of helps with the accuracy. And again, if you put a tight bore in there, you're going to get a slight jewel creep, but it's going to be a lot more. And you can do that. It's just screws to undo, and away you go. Okay, there is a nice guides online to do that. It just works. But as you can see, this is kind of like the earlier system. Now, if I go in the inside, you can see with this just being a plastic slide on the top, it's fine. You can see your contained nozzle in there, which kind of goes forward and back. Those arms, as you pull on the arms there, you can see those moving. Those grab here, and they basically move the loading nozzle to push a BB in, fire, and then it gets launched back, okay? And you'll see that all inside that captive unit. It's really, really cool how this works. Now, when it comes to the suppressor, as I say, it works because it has these foam cores inside, okay? So you can pull out these foam segments. If you have a Bifrost Acertec, you can slide that in, and it would basically just sit on the foam there and gets pinched up against the end cap, and you can turn this into an actual light up unit as well, just FYI. and it is just a simple cap on the end that's, again, aluminium, so it's fine. Now, of course, this is awesome, so let's put all this back together and let's do our final thoughts. Okay, if you've got this far in the video and you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button while you're there. Hit that notification bell and like button. That way you stay notified whenever I upload a new video, and you really help out with the YouTube algorithm. If you want to go one step further and really help this channel out, you can easily use the YouTube thanks button. That allows you to donate to the channel directly. Every penny you donate goes a massive way to putting bigger and better guns on the table. And with that, let's talk final thoughts. Okay, I forgot to show you the suppressor in detail, didn't I? So here's all the identifying numbers. You can see it's really nice that they put Tokyo Marui instead of Knight's Armament, but that's still nice. Just a FYI. Now, I've left that off because, to be honest with you, it'll be too big on the table to put in a decent view. It is a huge cannon. But yeah, basically it's one of those. Let's talk final thoughts with this. I love the fact that the suppressor works. I love the fact that, you know, you on the camera can't hear it because the camera does a very good job at amplifying low sounds and reducing higher ones, so it balances itself out. But you can audibly hear a massive difference between, I would say, with the suppressor on and without it. It's really good, especially if you're doing sneaky ops. But to be honest with you, this is a quiet gun. Like I say, there's a reason why the snipers out there use this, because it just works, you know. And of course, those that just want to go stealthily through a building can do that easily enough, because again, with all the usual ambient noises, you don't hear the mechanism inside working or anything like that. You just feel the pain when you get shot. It's kind of cool. But yeah, I love it. The Mark 23 holds a massive place in everyone's heart, whether you're an airsofter or a gun enthusiast. It is, to be honest, a absolute record holder and, to be honest, a beast of a pistol. HK really did use this and sprung off the USP, both in its 9mm and 45 ACP. The compact HK45 would be adopted after this. So you even got the HK45 later on. So yeah, it is a historical piece. And again, like I say, in video game history, this is Snake's just absolute ultimate pistol. And yeah, it's synonymous with that video games franchise now. But yeah, I really like it. And I like what you can do. The fact that I may lighten the trigger with the, like I say, upgrade. Maple Leaf do a load of decent parts kits for it, so you can upgrade the inner barrel, the booking, and again, the nozzle. There's so many little things that we can do to this to make it even better than it already is, even though it's already a beast of a gun. So yeah, and many other companies have cloned it since, so it must be good, such as ASG, and even the horrible Novarich. But yeah, they've all basically done an awesome job, you know, at Tokyo Marui, and it's still in production to this day as one of the longest production kits out there. Because normally, like the SG-09 or the Resident Evil 4 pistol, that's been discontinued. They did, all the other Res Evils got discontinued. I believe some of the anime ones now are being discontinued, including the Vorpal Bunny has been discontinued. Or going to be at the very least very soon, as Tokyo Marui are obviously getting ready for the next batch of awesome stuff coming down the line. Just hope it's none of that low-powered 14-year-old and up stuff, but some of the really good stuff that they've got planned. But yeah, as always, I'd love to know what you guys think about this awesome pistol in the comments down below. What do you want to see me do with this thing going forward? Do you want me to see upgrade videos or not? I look forward to reading those comments. As always, I've been the Middle Aged Gamer. You guys have been absolutely amazing. I'll see you in the next one.